You know, adventure sports, they promise us that incredible rush of adrenaline, right? A controlled brush with danger. But what happens when that control is just an illusion? Today, we're digging into a story where a thrill-seeking activity ended in absolute disaster. And it raises some serious questions about the safety of an entire industry. So picture this. You're in Rishikesh, which is basically India's adventure capital. The energy there is just electric. You're with your friends and you're about to take this huge leap of faith from a platform way, way up, towering over the landscape. It's the ultimate thrill. But then, in that one split second of pure exhilaration, the one thing you are trusting with your life, it fails. And just like that, a day of fun turns into an absolute nightmare. The promise of a safe thrill is just shattered. So how in the world did a day of adventure turn into a fight for survival? Let's break down exactly what happened step by step. Bungee jumping is supposed to be a calculated risk. It's built entirely on a foundation of trust. You have to trust the gear, you trust the crew, you trust the science behind it. And it all comes down to that one elastic cord. But what happens when that trust is completely misplaced? This timeline really shows you just how fast everything went wrong at this place called the Thrill Factory. One moment, it's just a fun outing with friends. The next, the jump begins, seems totally normal, and then the unthinkable. The rope just snaps, and a controlled descent becomes a terrifying freefall. And you know, this wasn't just a story that witnesses told. The entire horrific event was actually caught on camera. It provides this chilling frame-by-frame account of the exact moment the system failed. A mechanical failure this big, well, it has a devastating human cost. So now, let's turn to the story of the person who was right at the heart of this whole incident. This wasn't just some random statistic. This was Sonu Kumar, a young man whose life was forever changed in the blink of an eye. This is the human face of what happens when there's a systemic failure. In all the chaos that followed, this frantic rescue effort began. Sonu was rushed to AIMS Rishikesh, which is a top-tier hospital, for life-saving treatment. The initial medical report, well, it painted a pretty grim picture. Sonu's condition was listed as critical. We're talking major injuries to his chest and his left arm, and that's a testament to the brutal force of the impact. When a failure this catastrophic happens in public, it demands an immediate and a thorough response. So let's take a look at the official inquiry that was launched right after the incident. The official who took charge of the response, District Magistrate Nikita Kondawal, acted incredibly fast to prevent any more accidents and, of course, to get to the bottom of what went so wrong. The official response was swift, it was decisive, and it went way beyond just the Thrill Factory. The district magistrate issued a three-part order. First, launch a full inquiry into this incident. Second, immediately shut down all activities at the site. And third, conduct a safety audit of all the adventure sports companies in the entire region. You see, the authorities were looking at the bigger picture here. A single broken rope, that could signal a much deeper, systemic problem. The goal wasn't just to penalize one company, but to safeguard the whole adventure tourism industry in Rishikesh. This whole incident really forces us to ask a tough question. When we trade our safety for a thrill, who is ultimately responsible when things go wrong? Is it the operator, the regulator, or is it the individual? This is so much more than just a story about a broken rope. It's a huge wake-up call about the real price of adventure.